The year is 1513. A man sits in a cold cell, stripped of everything. His career destroyed, his wealth gone, his reputation in ruins. His name is Niccolò Machiavelli. Most people know what happened next. He wrote The Prince, one of the most controversial books in history. But here's what they don't tell you. Machiavelli wasn't writing about politics. He was writing about power. And power, whether you like it or not, is the only currency that matters when building wealth. 500 years later, his rules are still being used, every single day, by the people getting rich while you stay broke, by the corporations extracting value from your labor, by the entrepreneurs building empires while you're stuck trading time for money. And here's the part that should terrify you. They're using these rules against you right now. While you're being told to work hard, be nice, follow your passion, and wait your turn. That's the lie. The truth? Wealth isn't built by good people. It's built by strategic people, by bold people, by people willing to see the world as it actually is, not as they wish it were. Today, I'm going to show you Machiavelli's forbidden rules of wealth, the ones your teachers never taught you, the ones your boss doesn't want you to know, the ones that separate the wealthy from everyone else pretending the game doesn't exist. This isn't motivational content. This isn't feel-good advice. This is the dark art of wealth building. And if that makes you uncomfortable, good. Comfort is why you're broke. Let's begin. Rule 1. Fear is more profitable than love. Machiavelli wrote the sentence that destroyed his reputation. It is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both. The world hated him for it, called him evil, immoral, cynical. And then every successful leader for the next 5 centuries proved him right. Let me ask you something. Why are you underpaid? Really think about it. You work hard, you're competent, you deliver results. So why does someone else make 10 times what you make for doing less? The answer is simple. They're not afraid of you leaving. You've made yourself easy to take advantage of. You say yes to everything. You work weekends without extra pay. You accept disrespect because you don't want conflict. You think being agreeable makes you valuable. It doesn't. It makes you replaceable. Now look at the people who make serious money. What do they have in common? Boundaries, consequences, standards. When you waste their time, they walk away. When you disrespect them, you lose access. When you don't meet their terms, they find someone who will. Are they trying to be your friend? No. Do people respect them more? Absolutely. Do they get paid more? Always. Steve Jobs was notorious for this. He'd fire people in elevators. He'd destroy ideas publicly. He'd reject designs that took months to create. Was he nice? No. Did Apple become the most valuable company in history? Yes. Elon Musk doesn't apologize for his vision. He pushes employees to their limits. He makes demands most people think are impossible. Engineers quit regularly. And yet, the best engineers in the world line up to work for him. Why? Because fear and respect are two sides of the same coin. When people fear losing access to you, they respect you. When they fear you'll walk away from the deal, they negotiate better terms. When they fear you'll fire them, they perform at higher levels. This isn't about being cruel. It's about being selective. The masses need everyone to like them. The wealthy need everyone to understand they're not desperate. One group has leverage. The other is leverage. I'll give you a real example. Two consultants, same skills, same experience, same market. Consultant A charges $5,000 per project. When clients push back, he offers discounts. When they ask for extra work, he does it for free to maintain the relationship. When they pay late, he sends polite reminders. He's booked solid and broke. Consultant B charges $50,000 per project. When clients push back, he says, "I understand. Let me know if you'd like to move forward." When they ask for extra work, he sends a new proposal with the additional cost. When they pay late, he pauses all work immediately. He works half as much and makes 10 times more. What's the difference? Consultant B understands Machiavelli. People don't value what's abundant and eager. They value what's scarce and selective. Your problem isn't that you're not good enough. Your problem is you're too available, too agreeable, too afraid of being disliked. And that fear is costing you everything. Rule 2. Silence is your competitive advantage. Machiavelli advised princes to be a great pretender and dissembler. In modern language, shut up about your plans. This rule alone would make most people wealthy if they followed it, but they won't. Because humans are psychologically wired to seek validation before they've earned it. You get an idea, immediately you want to tell someone. You post about it on social media, you share it with friends, you explain your strategy to anyone who'll listen. And you feel good because people encourage you. Then 6 months later, you're still in the same place. Or worse, someone else is doing your idea and doing it better. What happened? You gave away your competitive advantage for free dopamine. Here's what the wealthy understand. Information is the most valuable currency in business, and you're broadcasting yours to people who don't deserve it. Warren Buffett doesn't announce his investments before he makes them. Why? Because if he did, the price would change before he could buy. His silence is worth billions. Bezos didn't tell traditional retailers his expansion plans, he just executed. By the time they understood what Amazon was building, it was too late to compete. Zuckerberg acquired Instagram for $1 billion when everyone thought he was crazy. He saw something others didn't, and he kept quiet about his vision until after the deal closed. Instagram is now worth over $100 billion. See the pattern? The wealthy move in silence. The broke perform their journey. I see this constantly with entrepreneurs. Someone starts a business and immediately creates social media announcing it. Day 1, starting my journey. Day 3, here's my business model. Day 7, here's my pricing strategy. Day 30,
Why isn't this working? Meanwhile, someone else saw all your posts. They took your idea, improved it, and launched it better than you ever could. Because while you were talking, they were building. Silence isn't about being secretive for drama. It's about protecting your competitive advantage. When you broadcast your intentions, 3 things happen. Weak people discourage you out of jealousy. Smart people steal your ideas, and everyone gets to watch if you fail. None of those outcomes help you build wealth. The only people who need to know your plans are the people directly involved in executing them. Your business partner, your key employees, your investors. Everyone else is either a distraction or a threat. Muhammad Ali famously said he'd float like a butterfly and sting like a bee. He told opponents his exact strategy, but Ali was already the greatest. He'd earned the right to talk. You haven't. Not yet. You're still building. So stop telegraphing your punches. Work in private. Win in private. Let your results announce your arrival. When you finally succeed, people will ask how you did it. And you'll smile and say, consistency, while keeping the real strategies to yourself. That's how you stay ahead. Rule 3. Perception determines price. Machiavelli understood something most people never learn. Reality doesn't matter as much as perception. He wrote, "Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few experience what you really are." This is psychological warfare applied to wealth building. When you're negotiating and you have all the leverage, never show it. Act interested but not desperate. This keeps the other party comfortable and prevents them from hardening their position. When you're in a weak position, project confidence. Act like this opportunity is one of many, like you're considering multiple options. I've watched this play out thousands of times in business. 2 candidates interview for the same job, same qualifications, same experience. Candidate A seems grateful for the opportunity, answers questions eagerly, asks about the salary range with obvious interest, gets offered $80,000. Candidate B acts like they're evaluating whether this company is good enough for them, asks strategic questions about company culture and growth trajectory. When asked about salary expectations, says, "I'm currently considering several opportunities in the $120,000 to $150,000 range." Gets offered $130,000. Same person, different psychology. $50,000 difference. This isn't lying. This is strategic presentation of information. Rockefeller mastered this during the oil wars. When buying out competitors, he'd act like he was doing them a favor, like their business was worthless and he was being generous with his offer. Meanwhile, he was building a monopoly. By the time they realized his true power, it was too late. This rule applies to your personal brand too. When you're broke, dress well. Carry yourself with confidence. Invest in looking successful even when you're struggling. Why? Because people invest in winners. Opportunities flow to people who appear successful, and when you're actually wealthy, stay humble. Drive a normal car. Dress modestly. Don't flash your wealth.
Rule 4. Leverage or die poor. Machiavelli wrote, "The first method for estimating the intelligence of a ruler is to look at the men he has around him." Translation: you will never build significant wealth alone. And if you're trying to, you're guaranteeing your own poverty. This is the hardest lesson for most people. They confuse independence with isolation. They think doing everything themselves proves their worth. It doesn't. It proves they don't understand leverage. Your time is finite, 24 hours in a day. If your income is directly tied to your hours, you'll never be wealthy. You'll be comfortable at best, trapped at worst. Look at any truly wealthy person. What do they all have in common? They've learned to multiply their output through other people's time, skills, and expertise. Elon Musk doesn't design rockets. He hires aerospace engineers. Bezos doesn't pack boxes. He builds systems and hires thousands to run them. Oprah doesn't edit her content. She focuses on her unique talent and surrounds herself with experts for everything else. But here's where Machiavelli gets dark, and where most self-help gurus stop talking. You cannot trust everyone equally. You cannot give everyone full access to your vision. You cannot assume loyalty just because you're paying someone. Machiavelli advised princes to use people's ambitions for their own purposes, to identify what each person wants and position yourself as the path to them getting it. If someone wants money, show them how helping you build your business makes them money. If someone wants recognition, give them visibility in exchange for results. If someone wants skills, position yourself as the mentor while they contribute labor. Everyone serves themselves. The question is whether you're smart enough to create win-win scenarios or naive enough to give without receiving. Here's the brutal part. Loyalty is rare. Competence is rarer. Finding both in one person is almost impossible. So Machiavelli said, never fully trust anyone with your entire enterprise. Compartmentalize. Let different people handle different aspects. This protects you if someone betrays you or proves incompetent. Mark Zuckerberg learned this lesson. The Winklevoss twins claim he stole their idea for Facebook. Maybe he did. Maybe he didn't. But he definitely learned to protect his interests better after that experience. The wealthy don't do everything themselves, but they also don't blindly trust. They leverage talent while maintaining strategic control. They delegate execution, but never delegate vision. If you're still operating as a solo entrepreneur, doing everything yourself, you're not being noble. You're being stupid. Your income is capped at exactly what one person can produce. But if you can orchestrate others' work under your vision, your income is limited only by how many people you can coordinate effectively. This is why employees stay broke and owners get rich. Employees trade time for money. Owners trade vision and coordination for equity in exponential results. Learn to leverage or accept poverty. Rule 5. Hesitation is expensive. Machiavelli observed that fortune favors the bold, not the prepared, not the educated, the bold. This might be the most costly mistake I see people make. They wait, they research, they plan, they consume more content, they take another course, they wait for perfect conditions, and they never start. Meanwhile, someone with half their knowledge and a quarter of their resources launches imperfectly and figures it out along the way. 5 years later, the hesitant one is still preparing. The bold one is already successful. Why does this happen? Because the market rewards action, not intention, results, not potential, execution, not ideas. Machiavelli saw that princes who acted decisively, even when their actions were risky, commanded more respect and achieved more success than cautious rulers who deliberated endlessly. This doesn't mean be reckless. It means once you have enough information to make a decision, make it. Then adjust based on real-world feedback. The cost of waiting is always higher than the cost of a wrong decision you can pivot from. Look at Elon Musk with Tesla. Every expert said electric cars were impossible to scale profitably. The technology wasn't ready. The infrastructure didn't exist. Consumer demand was uncertain. He built it anyway. And now Tesla is worth more than most traditional car companies combined. With SpaceX, everyone said private space companies couldn't compete with government-funded programs. Impossible, unrealistic, dangerous. He did it anyway. Now SpaceX dominates commercial spaceflight. The pattern is clear. Boldness creates opportunities that caution never finds. Here's what most people don't understand. The market doesn't punish wrong decisions nearly as much as it punishes indecision. A wrong decision teaches you something valuable. You learn what doesn't work. You adjust. You improve. You move forward with better information. Indecision teaches you nothing. It costs you time you'll never get back. And time is the only truly non-renewable resource you have. I know someone who spent 3 years researching the perfect online business model. Courses, masterminds, books, podcasts. 3 years of learning. 0 action. 0 revenue. During those same 3 years, someone else launched a mediocre product in 3 weeks. Got real customer feedback, iterated based on what people actually wanted, built a 6-figure business. Who was smarter? The one who knew more or the one who earned more? Machiavelli also noted that bold action creates its own momentum. When people see you moving with certainty, they want to be part of it. Investors fund bold visions, not timid explorations. Customers buy from confident sellers, not hesitant ones. Partners join decisive leaders, not people who are still figuring things out. Your boldness signals to the market that you believe in what you're doing. And if you don't believe in it enough to act, why should anyone else believe in it enough to pay for it? The graveyard is full of perfect plans that were never executed. The history books are full of imperfect actions that changed the world. Which one do you want to be remembered for?
Rule 6. Destroy problems completely.
This is where Machiavelli earned his dark reputation, and where most people's morality prevents them from building serious wealth. He wrote, "If an injury has to be done to a man, it should be so severe that his vengeance need not be feared." Before you think I'm advocating cruelty, let me clarify what this means in business. When something is working against your success, you cannot afford half measures. Partial solutions create long-term problems. Total solutions create peace. Let me give you an example everyone will relate to. You have an employee who's toxic. They spread negativity. They undermine your leadership. They poison your culture. You have 2 options. Option 1, have a conversation. Give them a warning. Hope they change. They don't. They get worse. Now they know you're weak. They've been emboldened. You eventually fire them anyway, but they've damaged your business for months and turned other employees against you. Option 2, recognize the problem. Document it properly. Terminate them immediately and definitively. Yes, it's uncomfortable. Yes, they'll be upset. But you've removed the cancer before it spreads. Your business is healthier. Your other employees see you protect the culture. And that toxic person can't hurt you anymore. Which option do you think Machiavelli would choose? This applies to bad clients, too. The client who pays late, demands extra work for free, drains your energy with constant complaints. You keep them because you're afraid of losing the revenue. But that client is costing you the mental space and time you could use to land better clients. They're preventing your growth while pretending to contribute to it. Cut them loose. Totally. No one more chance. No renegotiation. Remove them from your business and never look back. Within weeks, I promise you'll replace them with someone better. Why? Because you've freed up the energy to pursue quality relationships. Here's what most people don't understand. Partial conflict is more expensive than total resolution. When you leave an enemy wounded but alive, they plot against you. They undermine you. They wait for opportunities to strike back. When you remove them completely from your ecosystem, they can't hurt you. The problem is solved. You move forward. Rockefeller didn't negotiate with competitors. He crushed them, bought them out, drove them out of business entirely. Was it nice? No. Was it effective? He became the richest man in modern history. Bezos doesn't compete with rivals. He obliterates them. When Diapers.com competed with Amazon, Bezos dropped prices to unsustainable levels. Amazon absorbed the losses because they could afford it. Diapers.com couldn't. They were forced to sell to Amazon. Brutal? Absolutely. Successful? Undeniably. This isn't about being evil. It's about understanding that in business, mercy to your enemies is cruelty to yourself and everyone who depends on you. Your employees depend on you to make hard decisions that protect the business. Your family depends on you to remove obstacles to your success. Your future self depends on you to not negotiate with failure. If a strategy isn't working, don't modify it slightly. Kill it completely and try something radically different. If a partnership is toxic, don't try to fix it. End it definitively and find a better one. If a market is fighting you, don't push harder. Exit completely and find a market that wants what you're selling. Half measures are the death of wealth. Total commitment to removing obstacles is the foundation of it. Most people stay broke because they're too nice to their problems. They negotiate with failure. They give second and third chances to things that should be dead. The wealthy execute. Completely, totally. Rule 7. Leadership means taking credit. This is Machiavelli at his most controversial and most misunderstood. The modern interpretation sounds terrible. Exploit people and steal credit for their work. That's not what this means. Here's what it actually means. Leadership is about vision and direction, not personal execution of every task. When you're building wealth, Your job isn't to do all the work. Your job is to orchestrate the work, to direct the vision, to make the final decisions, and yes, to be the face of the results. Think about a film director. They don't operate cameras, they don't act. They don't do the editing or special effects. But when the movie wins awards, who accepts them? The director. Why? Because they were responsible for the vision that unified everyone's work into something coherent. This is what Machiavelli meant. Steve Jobs didn't code iOS. He didn't design the iPhone's circuit boards. He didn't manufacture the devices. But it was his vision, his standards, his refusal to accept anything less than revolutionary. So when the iPhone launched and changed the world, Steve Jobs got the credit. Was that unfair to the engineers? No. They got paid well. They gained valuable experience. They got to be part of something historic. Their resumes improved dramatically. But Jobs was the irreplaceable element. Remove any single engineer, the iPhone still happens. Remove Jobs, it might not have happened at all. Or it would have been mediocre. That's the difference between being essential and being replaceable. Here's the brutal truth. If you do all the work yourself, you'll always be poor. But if you can direct others under your vision, wealth scales.